This is sample problem 3.5. Calcium is the most abundant metal in the human body. A typical human body contains roughly 30 moles of calcium. Determine A, the number of calcium atoms in 30.00 moles of calcium, and B, the number of moles of calcium in a sample containing 1.00 times 10 to the 20 calcium atoms. So let's begin by reminding ourselves what a mole is. 1 mole can be thought of as just a simple number, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Either atoms or molecules, whatever it is you're talking about. In the case of calcium, that's an element, so we would be talking about atoms. If we were talking about water, we might be talking about the number of molecules, but for an element, we would generally talk about the number of atoms. So determine the number of calcium atoms in 30 moles. Well, 1 mole has this many atoms of calcium, so how much would 30 moles have? It should have 30 times as much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece of information that we're given in the question, 30 moles of calcium. And then I'm going to use this as a conversion, unit conversion. We want to go from moles to the number of atoms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this as a ratio. The quantity that we want to get rid of is moles, and the quantity that we want to have is the number of atoms. So by putting 1 mole in the denominator, 1 mole of calcium in this case, that means the moles of calcium here and the moles of calcium there will divide out. That ratio would be 1. So we'll put in the numerator, we'll put Avogadro's number. 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of calcium. So moles of calcium cancel, and then that'll give us the number of calcium atoms. So now we calculate that. 30 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd, and you get 1.8066 times 10 to the 25. So it looks like we have 4 sig figs, so I'm going to round it to 4 sig figs. So 1.807. Times 10 to the 25 calcium atoms. Okay. So there's part A. In part B, now we want to go the other direction. We go to the opposite direction. We want to find out how many moles of calcium there are in 1.00 times 10 to the 20th calcium atoms. So 1.00 times 10 to the 20 calcium atoms. Now we want to convert it to moles. So now we're going to put moles in the top. And then Avogadro's number in the bottom. So now the number of atoms cancel, and that'll give us the number of moles. So 1.00 times 10 to the 20th divided by 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd, and you get 1.66 times 10 to the minus 4. And then the units would be moles of calcium. Okay? So as we could sum up this little lesson plan, what we would say is something like this. If you have the number of moles and you want to convert that either to atoms or to molecules, the number of atoms or the number of molecules, you would multiply by Avogadro's number. On the other hand, if you want to go back the other direction, if you want to go from the number of atoms or the number of molecules to the number of moles, you would divide by Avogadro's number, where Avogadro's number is this 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay. Try the practice problem A, try the practice problem B.